Hey there, Stampin' friends. Welcome to Movie Monday with Jody, Brechbill, Stampin' Queen. Today's card, we are going to use the Country Home stamp set, which is one of my absolute favorites from this holiday catalog, and it's going to be leaving us soon. So if you have not grabbed it, make sure you do that really quick before the end of December. I think January 3rd may be our day that this is going to leave us. So make sure you pick that up. Country Home, awesome stamp set. So what I did, this is for my WOW class that I had a couple weeks ago. This is a shutter card using that suite, and this is from Split Coat Stampers. So you can actually go on there and find this exact card, but I'm going to do a little video here for you and show you how I created it. So we're going to remove the belly band, and when you open up the panels, it's going to kind of look like a camera shutter that reveals your message inside. So let's go ahead and get started creating that. So first I'm going to take a piece of soft suede and pull in our Simply Score tool, and I'm going to do 2 scores to create my gatefold. I'm going to do, it looks like 2 1/8. It's been a while since I made this one, so I may have to think a little bit, and 6 3/8, and I will double check those just to make sure and let you know if there's any different. So that's going to create our gatefold. Just fold those guys in, make sure they're nice and even and crisp. And we're going to create some panels that go on there using our DSP, which is just gorgeous. And I really never would have thought to put mint macaron and Cajun Craze together, but somehow it works. So we're going to do some panels here. I'll make sure that you guys have those dimensions whenever I put this video up. And then we'll get to the meat of the project here once we get some of our decorating out of the way. So these 2 panels then are going to go onto the front of our card. And I see that I'm rocking the boat a little bit this morning, and I have a lot of shadows. It's very early here and I'm creating some videos. One thing you want to make sure of is knowing which way your card's going to go so that your pumpkins are facing the right way. Can't have your pumpkins on upside down. I don't have my glasses on either. I just had a new prescription, and wow, yeah, I'm having some struggle getting used to them. So I have them off for a little bit of a break, and now I realize I'm out of adhesive. I have no glasses. Lord help us today. All right, so sorry, kids. Hold on. Got to change a tire. All right, now we're ready to roll. I am so sorry. Oh my gosh, my videos. It's a wonder y'all stick around. All right, so we'll get these guys on the front here. I really am having a hard time seeing. Okay, we're gonna hope that's all right. Then we're gonna take another panel and we're gonna do the same. This one's a little bit bigger, but we're just gonna attach that. And then what we're doing is taking our stitched shape framelets. So I'm going to use my circle stitch shape, and I'm going to die cut out of the center. I'm going to die cut so that I have both these pieces cut out. And we're going to use them actually for the front of our card. So what you want to do is not go too high because your slider needs to come under here. So I kind of just eyeballed it and went a little bit in the center. And you will end up having this piece, and then this one we're going to keep. So we're going to take some dimensionals on the back of this panel, and I had them here. Off camera, I've got piles of things everywhere for this video, and I swear I had dimensionals, but yep. Oh, Brechbill, I don't know what we're going to do. All right, so we're going to do about 3 or 4 dimensionals, just kind of a line across the bottom here. They don't have to touch. You just want it to be raised up enough that your slider panels can go underneath. Now foam strips would work real well too. You could do our straight line and just do a foam strip across there. That would be perfect too, but we're going to use dimensionals today. And then we'll get those guys peeled off. And we're going to put that into the center of our card. And again, it's just, I just kind of eyeballed it, making, excuse me, making sure that your pumpkins are going the right way. Always have your pumpkins going the right way. All right, so that's just kind of raised up a little, and that'll allow those sliders to go underneath. Now the next step, we're going to do a little bit of stamping, and I'm going to take my soft suede ink, and I'm going to hope this works. This was having some trouble. It had another stamp sat on it and kind of indented a little bit in when it was in the box during class. I do want to stamp off. Yeah, see, there's where my problem is. So let me grab a squishy pad. So that is something you guys want to be very careful of, is not putting your stamps on top of each other. Let me see if I pull it off a little bit, if that might help fluff it up a little bit. So I do want to stamp it off, and I think I stamped it off 2 times just so that it was really light, because I want my thank you to show up a little bit better. So we're going to take our mint ink and do our thanks in the center of this. I'm trying to figure out how it wants to go. There we go. Okay. And that piece is going to get mounted on, that's also die cut ahead of time with a stitched shape circle, a little bit smaller. And then I have the layering circle framelits, and I went ahead and die cut those ahead of time so that you didn't have to watch that. Now that's going to go in the center of the hole we just cut out. All right, so now the next step is going to be to create our panels. What we need are 2 pieces of soft suede, and we're going to bring back in our score tool. These are 4 by 3.5. So with the 4-inch side at the top, we're going to score the end at a 1/2 inch on both of these. I'm going to show you how to do this at home, because you can create a template. Let me slide up a little bit here. So I'm using the corner of my grid paper, and I'm going to lay that in here with my score line to the right, and I'm going to just make a pencil mark at 1/2 and 1/2. So right here is at 2. And then I also want to go to 1 3/4. So, sorry, pulling my ruler here. So I have 1 3/4. And I'm just going to lay my ruler across here. And then at 2 inches, I'm going to make a pencil mark. Okay. So now all you need to do is just do a line from that pencil line to the corner. So you're kind of creating a little bit of a banner. Lost my pencil line. Where'd it go? I've got shadow on top of my hands, so this is a little trickier today than I had expected it to be. And then the same thing on this side from your pencil point or pencil line, and then straight down here. So what you'll do is cut this out. Okay, and you're going to do that on both sides, but basically what I did was I just went ahead and made a template. Now all I have to do if I want to make multiples of these is just lay that on top, trace it, and cut it out. I don't have to measure every time. So by the magic of television, I did go ahead and do that, and this is what you will end up with, are your two notch flags. Now I do want to put them together, and I want to nip off the ends because those points will cause a problem in our shutter. So we'll just take, it doesn't have to be much, you don't have to measure it, just take those little points off. Maybe what, a 1/2 inch maybe? That's all you really need. All right, so now we're gonna fold these guys and they're gonna go in this way. So I'm gonna do some tear and tape across here. I like my tear and tape for this because it needs a little extra hold. And mono or snail sometimes is not quite what we want because of the pull when you open the card. So I like my tear and tape for that. So what I'm going to do, and I'm going to have to double check myself and make sure I'm doing this correctly. I'm going to slide this guy in here, and I want to make sure that it's coming over top of my sentiment. So you want to make sure nothing slides underneath. So it kind of looks like Pac-Man is eating him. Okay. And what I did was make sure that that point is sort of in the center of my sentiment. And I'm going to slide that the whole way in until the edge of the shutter point meets the fold of the card. Take my sticky strip off. Get you lined up the right way here, sir. There we go. Oops, it stuck to my finger. All right, and then I'm just going to close my card and then see how it'll start to pull it back. And we're going to do the exact same thing on the other side. Now, what you need to be careful of is that when you slide this one in, these 2 points either need to go underneath of this slider or both of them on top of that slider. You don't want to have one on top and one on the bottom, or it's not going to work as well. So when you're going in, make sure that you have them both going the same way. And it is a little tricky because they tend to want to either go underneath or over top. There we are. Okay, so now what you're doing is kind of making these 2 points kind of even. And again, I just eyeballed them. It's not an exact science, so if they're not exactly lined up, it's okay. But it tends to create a little bit of a diamond when you have them kind of lined up. Oh my goodness, kind of lined up the right way. You'll see a little diamond in there. Okay, and then you're just going to close that piece. So now there's your shutter when you close and open your card. Ta-da! So now really all we're going to do is just create the belly band and the decoration. So I took a layered scallop, and this is our piece that we die cut from the center. We're not going to waste it, and we're going to attach that right there. And then I'm going to go ahead and stamp my sentiment that I want on the front in mint macaron. Let me pull this guy back in here. Stamp that. Beautiful. And then I went ahead and I did this ahead of time. So I stamped the flourish, the little weeds on top, colored them in. I stamped them in Memento, and then I colored them in with our blends. And I did just a little bit of the bottom of the milk jug. So we're going to attach these behind our sentiment. So I'm just going to do a little bit of adhesive here. Flip over there, sir. And I just kind of went in behind here, and then the same with the jug. So you don't really need the whole jug because you just basically need a little bit of the bottom sticking out. Very cool. And then that will go on to, oh, my nose is running. Sorry, kids. That's going to go on to our medallion here that we created. So there is that part. And then finally, we're going to take a belly band, and we're just going to bring that around. I didn't do any scores. The trick to the belly band is that you just want to follow the folds of the card, and you don't want it too tight where it won't slide off. That's kind of the key to belly bands, is they need to slide off of your card. All right, so I just folded that around so that your person can actually open it up. Little bit of tear and tape across there. You could probably do 2 strips would work as well. Close that, make sure they're even. And then I'm just going to put a couple dimensionals on top, and that is for our little medallion to stick on. It's coming along. It's looking beautiful. Oh, so cool. And then the final step was I took a piece of our basic black baker's twine. Tie a little bow. You know the secret to bow making, right? I don't do the knot. It's not like tying a shoe. I only do the bunny ears. So just 2 bunny ears, and then it's a little bit more of a stable bow, and you can work with it. Like you can make your bunny ears bigger or smaller. All right, and final step would be a glue dot, which I don't have because I don't know where all my stuff is. But there you go. There is a gorgeous card with this super cute belly band. So that's a shutter card, y'all. So I hope you have fun making those. And I'm going to give this one away. Once I get a glue dot on there, I will have a little giveaway. So if you're checking out this video, leave me a comment either on YouTube or on my Facebook page, whatever works. And I will give this card away on Friday. So have a wonderful week, you all, and thanks for visiting.